This is a copper node, and it's got this thing on top that we have to mine off before we can put our miner on there. But this guy, he's pissed now. No, we did. So I can fly because I have this, but you have to be close to these power lines in order for it to work. So what we're gonna do here is get rid of this thing. But I don't actually want this in my inventory, so we're gonna drop it. There you can see this is the stuff that comes out, these individual pieces. And, oops. See if this is, nope. There's a train going by. Now I don't really need this copper, I'm just doing this kind of as a demonstration. I mean, I will use it. I'll tie it into something else into my main copper production. So this is how you build stuff. Now, we might as well do this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this into ingots, which is like melted down ore into something that's usable. And we're going to build our platform here. Oh boy. We're going to place these guys. So you can see you need those iron rods and the wires. Those are things that I have in my inventory, but you can't build without that stuff. Splitter. And power. is that? Over there. Then we go in here and we tell it to make a copper ingot. And it starts making them. But let's make so then once you get those ingots, these machines will take the ingots it might be full. Nope. And you can make stuff. A whole bunch of different stuff. But with copper, you can only make copper sheets and wires. Yeah, let's make wires. You can see down in the bottom right what you need to make this stuff. So in order to make cable, you need wire. So we'll set this to cable, and then we'll feed it the wires that we just made. But we have to get power to this, which I think maybe we could probably go like that. This is just a storage. You can see the wires there moving. So then in here we now have wires. And we'll take them. We'll let this go. So now you can see what it takes to build wires. Well, now let's look at everything else. So these are my this is my nuclear power facility. If we get too close, it's radioactive, and then I have a special suit. But this is very complex to make work. This is two-sided here. You can see there's more of them over there. So there's also liquids and gases that go in these tubes. There you can see the radiation, which I'm okay now, but I'm consuming. This is the uranium coming in right here. And you can see these are the constructors that we looked at before. This is an assembler, which has 2 inputs, 1 output. And then there's manufacturers, which is like this. This has 4 inputs and 1 output. You can make a bunch of this stuff. Currently this is making uranium fuel rods, which then feeds the nuclear reactor. So all of you can see my production currently is 20,000 megawatts. I'm only consuming 7,900-ish. But if everything runs all at once, it will take 30,000 megawatts. So luckily everything doesn't run all at once. This uranium comes from very far away. If we go up high enough here, we get out of this radiation. This is all just serving the power plants. This is the factory. I guess we'll start this tour where I started the game. So this might look like it's the lower level, but it is not. This is where I started the game. And there's the stereo here playing goat music. So these are fun, but we'll get in there in a second. But yeah, so this was where I started with all the very first ones, all the very first things. We got some coal power plants going here. They take water and coal. Let's hop into one of these guys. So before you fly, these are the best way to get around. Obviously there's power everywhere around the factory, so and we've got these that go off into the terrain. And there's the flying creature that clips through everything. This is the space station. And the goal of the game is to build crap and then you send it up there. You can see 2 of these I have completed. I still have to make the ballistic warp drives and the nuclear pasta. I'm at 704 out of 1,000. But making nuclear pasta is quite complex. We'll see. I'll show you. So let's see here. Where is that guy? Right here. Okay, so this is all for making the one item. All of this. All the way over to this guy, the particle accelerator. And you can see There's one there. I'm actually going to do this. So that multiplies the output, so I get 1.25 per round. And this takes pressure conversion cube and 200 copper powder, which to make the pressure conversion cube is here. One going out that way and one going this way. And then you can see to make that unit, we need those three on the left. So then the three inputs here, crystal oscillators, computers, and this is aluminum casings, which is coming in from another place. These make the crystal oscillators, and the computers, which require quartz crystal, the cable that we made before, reinforced iron plate. Here we can see the cable coming in from the lower factory here. This level was built to make three things. Assembly director system. Ooh, we'll pick these up. And thermal propulsion rockets. This is for a previous round of product to go up the space station. And this whole floor is just for those three things. Screws and wires and copper plating, metal frame, modular frames, and steel pipes. To make steel, you got to get iron from a node like the copper and put it into a foundry with coal. Coal comes from another node. Let's go see where this coal comes from. So the coal comes from through the floor right there. We have to go over here to go down there. This is the coal train. Hopefully the train is nearby. We can fly instead of take the train, unless the other train is here. Pink train is here. So the pink train is rubber and plastic, which comes out right here, and then goes to various places. The rubber and plastic is made from oil. And oil is only located in certain parts of the map that are far away. So you have to build a train to bring the pieces over. You can see here on the left is a copper plant with its own train. So this is the first oil facility. I have three. And this is making sulfur products. This is smokeless powder. That's what that is. So that's the, I need that to make this gun to kill the bad guys. You can see I got a few of these a few of these power plants. These are run off of fuel. So we'll go over here and we'll look at the oil. Oil rigs. These are oil rigs. Right there and right there. And they carry through this pipeline. And then they go into these refineries. In these refineries, they turn it into fuel. These are buffer tanks. So the plants, so you don't run dry in the tube, basically. And then a byproduct of turning the oil into fuel is polymer resin, which is what's coming up these conveyors here, right here, polymer resin. The polymer resin goes up through and goes into these refineries. And these refineries turn it into plastic, but you need water. And these are the water pumps. So this train, there's no sulfur here, but this train brings in black powder. And then these two refineries, let's see, oil, because you need, what is this? Heavy oil residue. So if you make plastic right off from the oil, you get plastic, but you also get this residue, which is required along with the black powder to make the smokeless powder. But the sulfur node is actually back at the main base. Let's go this way. This is the rubber. So the coal train wasn't close by, so we picked up the train that we could, but the coal train goes to this station. Right here, and the coal nodes are down there, and it just brings it up into these freight platforms. We're not going to get off here, but we are going to go back this way and go up here. This is the nitrogen station when we got the train here, so we got to kind of hurry up. But nitrogen in the ground goes up and then gets put into containers in these machines. So you have to have the gas comes up and then gets put into bottles, packaged nitrogen gas. And then those containers, they go onto this train, and we're bringing back the empty containers there in the back where it's unloading. And you can see them going up the conveyor belt over there, and then they'll get filled up. And we go back to the main base. This is the upper level train platform. Well, it's actually just the second level because I've got some way up there that we'll go look at in a minute. So from here, I don't know if we're going to actually unload much here, but you can see the empty containers stacking up here because it won't go in while it's unloading, but there go the old one, the empty ones, and here come the full ones. This is full here, so this is acting as a buffer. You can see that's full of them. And there they go. You can see them filling up. And then they go through here and they get split off. These are unpackagers. So these are taking the nitrogen gas the packaged nitrogen gas and turning it into gas in a tube again, and then giving me the empty fluid, the empty tank back, but it's gas. It says fluid, but it's holding a gas. And then these are the buffers for the nitrogen gas, which is a little excessive, to be honest. And that's used for various things. You can see it going up through the floor right here and coming up into here. And it is used as an ingredient in cooling systems where we need heatsink, rubber, water, and nitrogen gas. And we're waiting on heat sinks have just come in, and now we're constructing. And the heat sinks are made right here with aluminum. Now, aluminum sucks. Aluminum, we're gonna go look at the aluminum plant. Aluminum is gonna blow your mind. Well, let's do this first. So this is a Luma solution. It's called alumina solution. Anyway, so you need that and coal in order to make aluminum scrap. And then with the aluminum scrap that comes out, there should be some in here, a little bit. You feed that into a foundry with silica to get aluminum ingots. And then you can do stuff with the ingots, like build aluminum casings or build aluminum sheeting, which is what is required to build the fast conveyor belts you see down in the lower right. Right there. But to make this solution, you have to use bauxite. And I built the nuclear power plants a little too close to the tube. So you do touch by. One of the byproducts of making that aluminum solution is this silica powder, which is going by on the left here. That's those white bundles. A little bit of radiation coming by. That's a train station up there for packaged water. Because I ran out of local water around the base, so I had to move it from over here to the top of the base. But there you can see that's the packaging for the water. It's a little slow on the way up, but you can see some uranium chunks over there. Well, we can go see the uranium mine. So this is bauxite here. Water coming up from down below there. Bauxite coming up, going into refineries with water. You get the alumina solution. And now we're headed to the uranium mine, which is deep in a cave. We get going really fast here. So we have 7 filters. You can see the filter in the lower left there, number 7. That's for protects me from the radiation. You can imagine this took a little while to build down into here, but it's a major part of the game. I was gonna build the power plants in here, but there's the uranium mine right there. Those filters are a pain in the butt to make, so we're not gonna stay here for very long. Boy, there's a spider guy right there. He's a bad guy, but he can't get you while you're in the tube. But that thing will kill you, even late game. And they jump really high, so flying doesn't help you in this cave. They'll get you. I had to kill him before. So we still have to see oil plant number 2 and oil plant number 3. This thing's a little slow on the way up. But compared, I mean, I had to walk here the first time, so. And these power lines, they come from the base. And this uranium conveyor, I didn't build a train over here. I just built the conveyor belt the whole way, but it goes off to the left there over to another thoroughfare and makes its way back. It gets very slow, but then we'll speed up. So at these intersections you can change the direction in which you go. This is a cool pink forest. I'm not sure which way it's going to want me to go here. I haven't been over here in a while. No, I don't want to go that way. I want to go this way. And then I have to turn around and go this way. Okay, well, my headset died. But this is the end of the tube. And this is another oil plant. It's mostly just power. Instead of make plastic, I send these resin off into the void, which is this machine is the void. And if you don't, and that polymer resin builds up, then this whole business just stops. There's nowhere for it to go. Oh, the big trees. Let's go look at these. So these green clouds are poison. You can get a filter for it, but the forest is rad. Now the only reason I can fly here is because I've got these power lines, which I put here just for this, but you collect these mushrooms over here. But very cool. I think we might be able to fly up into this. We barely make it, I think. Oh yeah, there we go. I got outside the range of the flying machine. We're back in. Or you can land on these guys. Oh, there's these things. They don't hurt you. So, that's mean. These guys are bad. Ooh, there's a power slug. Now, I'm pretty sure these guys are gonna vomit rocks at me. Maybe not. Some of them do, some of them don't. But we're going to kill them because I want that purple slug. And I can't get it. Can we kill it? Yep. They're not much of a challenge once you can fly. But these things are hard to kill in the early game. Maybe one more? There we go. Now you can pick up their body if you want. I don't want. You can see these are the oil. And we're pumping oil up. Okay. Now we got a couple more things to see. Saving the best for last. Although we have to go through the tube now. But on the way back, it gets really fast. There's a radioactive guy right there. It's like a radioactive beast. Incredibly, that does not harm you. Look, this guy's in my base. Okay, let's go to the tippy toppers here. So this is the drone port. And we're going to go to the other side of the drone port in a minute. Let's see where our drone is. It is en route to here. but it is still over there. So we're not going to wait for it, but this brings us barrels of oil, which you can see here. And they go into these machines that put it into the tube, and the pack empty containers going back to the drone port. And then the oil is in these buffers, and then it gets turned into fuel, which then powers the drone. But it also runs these refineries, which produce the resin, and then I'm making plastic here. You can see the plastic right here. And there's another line of oil-powered power plants. And they go down, the plastic feeds this, which makes the nuclear pasta. So this machine here, it makes these things. I forget what they're called. Singularity cells. This is a very late game item. Dark matter crystal, and it requires the nuclear pasta in order to make these things. And so there's a zillion of them, which is absolutely insane if you've played this game at all. But yeah. So now we're gonna go. We still gotta go up. Drone port. We probably will see that drone. And this is aluminum refining and copper refining. There's the more of the aluminum. This is my battery bank. This is aluminum fluid coming in packaging. Yes. And I don't know what's in here. Nothing. And then over here is water. And this is very fun. Let's flush this. We'll watch this go. This is actually one of the things I was... the most recent thing. So packaged water, which we saw over there. This is where the train runs all the way out there. And packaged water, unpackaging, and filling these containers, and then this is going to get used further down in the factory soon. But you can see the elevator continues up, but it's unfinished. And there's the nuclear zone. Okay, so let's go. This is the portal. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to wait for this. So we'll look around at something else here. This is quartz crystal and iron ore. Iron steel processing. And concrete processing over in here. Steel tubes and all that business, which is all part of this because these two power plants, they take the uranium, and then we're gonna get really high radiation over here. They take they create this waste, which is stopped up. That's bad. Oh no, it's not. Okay. And then you take this waste and you put it in here with, this produces water, but there's also nitric acid, and then this thing and this over here, they create plutonium, which is what this one runs on. Okay, let's get out of here. I'm gonna use up a whole filter. Portal should be ready now. Okay, we are now very far away. On the very far side of the map, you can see there's the space elevator way over there. The other side of the drone port. And this is where the oil comes from for the oil refinery in the sky. And we can look at something else that's fun over here. This should still be over here. Where are you? It's not over here. Well, we can do this, I bet. Can we do it? Nope, we can't do it. I don't have the right materials to build a truck. I can drive the truck around. So there's a giant desert that's over here that I haven't built in at all. And then there's a whole nother big desert. The whole north end of the map is desert, which you can see. The map goes up to about like this. And this is the main base here. And my train's running around. And train station. The trucks are there. Oh, there it is. It didn't render in. Let's see if we can't drive the truck into the desert. I haven't even been there on this playthrough, but I have in the past built my whole thing over there. Now we need fuel for these trucks. It's got 82. Oh, that's just putting it in the truck. That's not what I want to do. Oh, because that's the condensed coal. Okay, well, we don't have all that much. We'll probably get stuck over here. You can commit murder with these things. But it didn't work. Okay. I don't know what happens if you flip it over. I'm not sure it will flip over. $63. mortar. I wonder if this... Oh, he didn't die. It has a crafting bench on there? I never knew that. Okay, well, that's the game. Oh. Can't run over that thing. Just try to flip this thing over. I don't think it will flip over. Oh no. Oh. I forgot the truck. Luckily you can just like delete it and then... Ooh, but I don't know if we get our fuel back. Oh, we did. You can automate these trucks to carry things. Which is what these tracks are. We go like this, we go like that. Enable no valid route. That means I built something in the way. Not a surprise. This is a cool cave. Be lucky if I get through here. Well, that's pretty much everything. This goes back to the main base. We can end the video there.